You're doing all the things, aren't you? You're religiously swiping through dating apps, you're hitting the gym, you're diving into self-help books, maybe even listening to podcasts like this one, trying to figure it all out. You're putting in the work, you're investing in yourself, and yet, time and time again, you still find yourself right back where you started, alone. Again, it's frustrating, isn't it? It makes you wonder, what if the real problem isn't your profile pictures, or your witty texts, or even the dating scene in your city? What if it's something far more subtle, an invisible script running quietly in the background of your mind, sabotaging every romantic possibility before it even has a chance to bloom? Stick with me for the next 10 minutes. We're going to unpack the 5 brutal, unconscious mistakes almost everyone makes that keep them stuck in the single cycle. And then, I'm going to give you the exact mindset shift that builds unshakable confidence and finally attracts the kind of healthy, loving partner you truly deserve. Mistake 1. You're waiting for a spark instead of a story. So many of us approach dating like it's a slot machine. We pull the lever, go on a date, and we're just hoping for those 3 cherries, those instant fireworks, that undeniable spark. If the bells don't ring and the confetti doesn't fly in the first 5 minutes, we cash out, move on, and pull the lever on the next person. But here's the brutal, often uncomfortable truth. Research from places like the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships actually shows that couples who report instant fireworks, that intense, immediate chemistry, often break up faster than those who describe their early dates as pleasant but not mind-blowing. Isn't that fascinating? Those initial sparks are cheap, fleeting, and often misleading. They're usually created by novelty, a dash of anxiety, maybe a glass or 2 of wine, and a whole lot of projection. They don't tell you much about long-term compatibility. A real, lasting love story, on the other hand, isn't built on fireworks. It's built on shared experiences and observations. It's built by seeing how someone handles the everyday stuff, a delayed flight, a crowded subway, a minor disagreement over tipping, or even just a quiet evening together. These are the moments that reveal character. So please, stop chasing those elusive butterflies and start collecting data points. On every first date, ask yourself 3 simple, powerful questions. Do I feel safe with this person? Do I feel genuinely curious to know more about them? And do I feel respected in their presence? If you can honestly answer yes to all 3, then for goodness sake, go on a second date. Even if your heart isn't doing backflips, even if you don't feel that immediate, overwhelming spark. True chemistry, the kind that lasts, can absolutely grow and deepen over time. But character? That shows up right away. It's the foundation. Mistake 2. You're trying to be chosen rather than choosing just open up any dating app, and what do you see? It looks like a massive catalog, doesn't it? A seemingly endless parade of humans who might pick you. Psychologists have a term for this, an external locus of evaluation. Essentially, you're handing strangers the grading pen, hoping they'll circle you with an A+. And what's the natural, often subconscious result of that? You start to shrink yourself. You soften your opinions. You hide that wonderfully weird hobby you love. You meticulously craft a profile full of adjectives designed to offend absolutely no one. The problem is, when you try to attract everyone, you end up attracting no one. Confidence, real confidence, completely flips this script. It says, hold on a minute. I'm the buyer here. I'm the one making the choice. This isn't about arrogance, it's about self-worth. Try this practical fix, and I promise it's a game changer. Before you even open that app, before you scroll through one more profile, take a moment. Write down 3 non-negotiables, 3 core values or traits you are genuinely screening for in a partner. We're talking about things like financial responsibility, emotional openness, intellectual curiosity, or a shared, slightly twisted sense of humor. These aren't superficial preferences, they're foundational. Then, when you match with someone, silently, almost playfully, ask yourself, does this person meet my standards? That single, powerful shift From anxiously wondering, am I enough for them? To assertively asking, are they enough for me? Moves you from a place of anxiety to a place of empowered assertiveness. And let me tell you, nothing, absolutely nothing, is more attractive than someone who deeply knows and values what they're worth. Mistake 3. You're confusing self-worth with accomplishment. You've got the degree, you've landed that promotion, maybe you even have a down payment on a condo. You've achieved so much. So why does a simple rejection, a non-return text, a ghosting after a great date, still feel like a literal punch to the gut? It's because, for so many of us, we've mistakenly tied our inherent value, our very self-worth, to our external achievements. And here's the rub. Achievements, no matter how impressive, can be taken away. They can be challenged, they can fluctuate. Real confidence, the kind that stands firm through anything, is what therapists call unconditional self-acceptance. It's that deep, unwavering belief that you matter, that you are inherently valuable, even when you bomb a presentation at work, even when you get ghosted after date 3, even when you make a mistake. It's about understanding that your worth isn't conditional on your performance or on how others react to you. You build this kind of rock-solid confidence by consciously separating facts from the stories your brain loves to spin. A fact. Someone stopped texting you. A story. I'm clearly unlovable. Nobody ever wants me. See the difference? The story is a narrative your mind creates to make sense of the fact, but it's often a distortion. Catch that story, label it for what it is, a thought, not a truth, and then replace it with something verifiable. Their silence tells me about their communication style, or maybe their own issues, not about my worth as a human being. Do this consistently, and rejection gradually transforms from a devastating personal blow into simple, useful information. It becomes a data point, not a verdict on your entire existence. Partners, healthy partners especially, sense that emotional steadiness a mile away. It reads as profound security, and it's incredibly reassuring. Mistake 4. You're treating boundaries like optional accessories. If you constantly tolerate that 2 a.m., you up text, or if you consistently allow last-minute cancellations without a word, you're inadvertently teaching people a very clear, very damaging lesson, that crumbs are more than enough to feed you. The moment you accept less than you deserve, you're broadcasting a message to the world, and more importantly, to yourself, that you don't genuinely believe you deserve more. Boundaries aren't about being rigid or controlling. They are not ultimatums designed to test someone. Instead, think of them as the quiet, firm rules that protect your precious peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. They're essential. State them early, state them plainly, and this is absolutely critical. State them without apology. You don't need to justify why you have standards. For example, instead of just accepting a last-minute invite you don't want, you might say, I don't do last-minute plans. I really need at least 24 hours notice to make things work. If the other person pushes back, if they try to manipulate you into bending your boundaries, that isn't a sign of strong chemistry or passionate interest. That's a giant red flag, waving furiously. Every single boundary you courageously hold narrows the field. Yes, but it narrows it to people who are willing to rise up and meet you where you are, rather than those who will constantly try to drag you down. Remember this, the right person, the genuinely good person, won't be scared off by your standards. In fact, they'll probably be incredibly relieved to finally meet someone who actually has them. They'll see it as a sign of respect, both for yourself and for them. Mistake 5. You're living in the someday paradox. How many times have you caught yourself saying something like this? I'll finally start those salsa classes once I lose 10 pounds. Or, I'll travel the world once I have a partner to go with. Or even, I'll truly be happy once I'm in a relationship. This, my friend, is what I call the someday syndrome, and it's a cunning trap. It keeps you perpetually stuck because it chains your joy, your growth, and your potential to some future, external event or person. You're essentially putting your life on hold. But here's the thing about confidence. It absolutely thrives in momentum, not in passive waiting. It grows from action, from proving to yourself what you're capable of, right here, right now. So, pick just one area of your life, any area that you've been postponing or putting off. Maybe it's fitness, learning a new language, picking up photography again, or even just decluttering a corner of your home. Now, commit to a 30-day micro goal so incredibly small, so laughably achievable that you can't possibly fail. Think 10 push-ups a day, 1 Duolingo lesson, 1 photo snapped and saved, tidying for 5 minutes. The sheer act of consistent progress, no matter how tiny, begins to rewire your brain. It starts associating you with competence, with action, with success, rather than with longing, waiting, or lack. And ironically, beautifully, the busier you become building a life you genuinely love, a life that excites you independently, the less desperate you appear to others. Your desirability, your magnetic pull absolutely skyrockets. Why? Because people are naturally drawn to a party that's already in full swing, not to an empty construction site that's perpetually under construction. They want to join in on the vibrant, unfolding story you're already writing. Quick pause here. If any of these brutal truths just hit home, if you had an aha moment, please smash that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this video to someone else who's feeling stuck, who needs to hear this message right now. And if you're hungry for more science-backed, real-world ways to truly level up your love life and build genuine connection, then hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos designed to help you navigate the wild world of modern dating with clarity and confidence. The confidence recipe. Competence plus compassion plus community. So, how do you actually bake this elusive, powerful thing called confidence? It's a simple yet profound 3-ingredient recipe: competence, compassion, and community. Let's break it down. First, competence. This isn't about being perfect. It's about proving to yourself consistently that you can do hard things. It's about tackling challenges, big or small, and collecting those small wins along the way. Did you finally organize that drawer? Did you stick to your workout plan for a week? Did you have that tough conversation you were dreading? Each one is a tiny victory. These aren't just tasks. They're opportunities to show yourself that you can handle discomfort, that you are capable, and that you can follow through on your commitments. Every time you achieve something, you deposit a little bit of self-trust into your emotional bank account. Second, compassion. This is about how you talk to yourself. Imagine your best friend just got dumped or failed at something. Would you call them names? Would you catastrophize their entire future? Of course not. You'd offer kindness, understanding, and encouragement. So why do we treat ourselves so harshly? Practice talking to yourself like you would to that beloved best friend. When you stumble, when you feel inadequate, offer yourself the same grace and understanding. No name-calling, no spiraling into worst-case scenarios. This radical self-kindness is the bedrock of true resilience. And third, community. No one builds a fulfilling life or rock-solid confidence in a vacuum. You absolutely need to surround yourself with at least 2, ideally 3, people who genuinely celebrate your growth, who champion your efforts, and who, crucially, will lovingly call you out on your excuses when you need it. These are your truth tellers, your cheerleaders, your accountability partners. They see your potential even when you can't, and they remind you of your worth when you forget. When these 3 powerful ingredients, competence, compassion, and community, finally mix together, something incredible happens. You stop needing a partner to complete you. That desperate, often exhausting neediness simply evaporates. Instead, you start wanting a partner to share the already awesome, rich, and meaningful life you've painstakingly built for yourself. That energy, grounded, warm, purposeful, and mission-driven, is the exact opposite of needy. And it's precisely that energy that magnetizes healthy, emotionally mature people who operate on the same confident, self-respecting wavelength. So, let's quickly recap these crucial shifts. Stop chasing those fleeting sparks and start diligently collecting character data. Remember, you're the discerning buyer in this equation, not the desperate beggar. Consciously separate your inherent self-worth from your achievements, because your value isn't negotiable. Clearly spell out your non-negotiables and boundaries early, firmly, and without apology. And finally, for goodness sake, quit postponing your joy until someday. Do these 5 shifts consistently, integrate them into your daily life, and you won't need to frantically hunt for love. Instead, love will find you right there in the middle of a life that finally, authentically, feels like yours. If this video truly helped you, if it sparked something within you, please comment below and tell me which mistake you're vowing to drop first. Share it with a friend who you know is stuck in that endless swipe fatigue, who needs this message of empowerment. And always, always remember, the most attractive thing you can ever offer another human being is a fully formed, self-respecting, vibrant you. I'll see you in next video. Until then, keep building the kind of life you don't need a vacation from. And I promise you, the right person will absolutely want to book the ticket with you.